Ciao anima bella, welcome back. Today's episode is about something invisible but unmistakable. A force that shapes how people experience you, how you sleep at night, and how deeply your work actually feels true. We're talking about the sub-trait principles uh, inside part of the EVO personal potential analysis or EPA framework. This sub-trait principles whispers to you in the middle of the night or in those moments when you are alone with yourself. And it asks you whether you lead from within or whether you follow whatever works fastest. So let's explore what this sub-trait reveals about how you make decisions in your business, in your life, how you hold your integrity, and how you relate to the world, especially when it would be easier not to. Okay, so in the EPA framework, the sub-trait principle is your inner compass. It's not about religion. It's not about politics. It's not even about being good. It measures how consistently and consciously you stay aligned with your internal values. You make a decision based on what's right and not just what's easy or profitable. You refuse to compromise when something feels morally or spiritually wrong for you. This trait is often connected to your levels of self discipline, but it also lives in your emotional body, in your gut, in that pause before you say yes or no. So imagine that you're walking through a forest in thick fog. There's no path, there's no signs, and you don't have a GPS. But in your pocket, you have a little tiny compass. And it doesn't show you the whole map, but it tells you where true north is. And that's what principles are. They're not rules or a rigid ideology. They are your true north, guiding you when the path isn't clear and when no one else can tell you what's right. So if this sub-trait is high for you, you likely hold yourself and others to high standards. You refuse to play dirty, even under pressure. You speak up when something feels wrong or is injustice, or is unjust. You make decisions that align with your values, even if they cost you. But here is the other side, the shadow side. High principles can tip into rigidity, especially if linked to a high belief trait and a high resistance to change sub-trait. So if that's the case, you might find yourself struggling to adapt when life gets messy. You might find yourself expecting others to follow your code, even if they don't share it. You might burn out from trying to do the right thing all the time. And worst of all, you might forget to offer yourself grace and kindness. So your code becomes a cage. On the other side of the spectrum, if your EPA score is low on principles, it doesn't mean that you're immoral. It might mean that you adapt so easily that you lose your center, that you say yes to things that don't feel right to keep peace, please clients, or chase results. Or you might ignore that inner twinge because you're tired or afraid, or you're just used to bending. And over time, you start to feel disconnected from yourself. You lose trust, not from others, but you lose trust within your own heart. And you start to wonder which part of you is real and where you are inside yourself. So in business, this sub-trait principles shapes how you price your work, how you market your offers, how you handle client dilemmas, team decisions, or competition. High principles may lead you to undercharge, underpromise, or overdeliver, all in the name of doing the right thing. Low principles may show up in your business as chameleon mode, saying whatever works in the moment, even if it's not your truth. But what your soul wants is alignment, not performance, not perfection, just a quiet daily choice to live in truth, even when it's inconvenient. So, to me, this subtrait is profoundly spiritual. I know I always have a spiritual perspective on all traits, I know, but this subtrait is profoundly spiritual. And not because they're religious, but because they're sacred. They represent your commitment to yourself, to the soul contract you made, even if you've forgotten it. When you live by your values, even when no one's watching, your body feels lighter, your voice becomes clearer, your presence gains weight and depth. And you become the kind of person that people will trust instinctively, not because you're flawless, God forbid, but because your energy says, you can count on me to stay in integrity, even when no one else does. So, how can you redesign or refine this subtrait of principles? So, whether this trait is high or low on your EPA framework, here's how to bring it into your sacred balance. For starters, you can clarify your actual principles. So, do a value analysis. Write down all the principles or values that are important for you. Like, write them all down. And then, as many as you like. Set yourself on free writing mode and just download it all. And then from this list, you will find that many are synonymous or many are very close together. So extrapolate 5 business values. Extrapolate 5 relationship values and 5 family values. Like, for all the roles that you bring forward in your life, write down what the 5 values are for that specific role. Then you can notice your bend points. So, where do you compromise most easily? On pricing, on promises, on boundaries. So, once you have your values map or your principles map divided maybe by the roles that you cover in your life, notice where you bend, where you take shortcuts, where you yield and compromise. And finally, you can rehearse staying aligned. So once you have noticed where you slip up and where you compromise or where you sacrifice your principles, you can rehearse, role play, if that's possible for you, role play with a particular situation and find out through the role play or the visualization that you might do in your own mind where you can say your truth, how you can say your truth, when you can say it, in order for you to see your integrity and authenticity in your third eye through this role play or visualization, and then bring it into reality. Remember, the principles are not about rigidity, but they are about reliability. Reliability, first and foremost, for you to fully rely on yourself, and then to share this amazing gift of reliability to clients and partners and family and friends, etc., etc. So not every choice needs to be hard, but every choice should feel safe and clean, true for you. So if you listening to this episode, if you notice that you've been drifting from your core or holding your standards so tightly that they become chains, remember, that true leadership doesn't start with strategy. True success doesn't start with strategy. It starts with values. And values, when we live them in our everyday moments, change our world and change the world. So let me know what resonated most with you about this particular subtrait and what you would like to explore further. We can do that together. Drop me a like and a follow. I'm very grateful for that. And until next time, ti abbraccio forte. Ciao.